This is Speakers of Idland. With Keel Bravestone, Vero Sombrero, and Lonigan Cypher. That is correct. This is Speakers of Idland, episode 13. I am Keel Bravestone. Welcome. We're going to talk about the Time interview, Time magazine interview. I always mess this up in the beginning. Can never talk when we start. We're going to talk about today the Time magazine interview with Yoshi-P, where something a bit exciting might have been revealed. The Heavensward website has been updated, so new lore about the classes and the new races. And we've been served with some nice looking screenshots from the DirectX 11 client and some comparison photos between the DirectX 9 and 11 client. Lastly, we will answer questions that you, our dear viewers, send us. So do send us questions during the stream either via Twitter at FFXIV or in chat. So I'm not here alone. I am joined by the always loyal Vero Sombrero, who's not here. Sweet! Vero's black. Here she is, Vero Sombrero and Lonigan Cypher. Hello.
Hello.
Let's just get straight into this. What did we do in the past week?
Past week?
Yes, this past week. Who wants to go first with their exciting Eorzean lives? Vero, you first.
I've completed 2 books.
Okay. You were talking about the
Relic books?
Animus books, yes?
Yes. I just started my 3rd one.
So which book are you on?
Oh, let me check. I am online.
You're near 9th book?
Of Skyfire 1.
So that's...
The last one?
Yeah, no. The first one.
Well,
I started from the bottom and I worked my way up.
start from the bottom, now you're here.
No, you're here.
Yeah, that's
So
why.
that
Just
means...
like Drake.
Yeah, so how many books do you have left?
3.
3, you said?
Or 2.5.
Oh, sweet.
Kind of.
So you're almost at the light phase.
Yes.
Segway.
No. Alexandrites?
Oh, Vero. Oh, I forgot. You have
76
oh,
Alexandrites?
I thought I had the perfect segue to just go over to Lonigan's week. Okay, well, have fun with that phase, because that's fun.
That's
I
even
shall
more fun
hurry.
than the
Oh.
books.
Yeah, it's gonna be,
Really?
yeah, oh yes. Lonigan,
Yep.
what have you done?
Basically, I've just been doing my dailies, like getting light
Basically-
for my relic, and also I've been doing the Beast Tribe quests. I've almost hit rank 7 now, or almost 6, so I have 1 rank left, and then finally I can get my lame
Your dog.
mount.
Your lame mount. Yeah. You've also done some light farming, because as we all know, let's just do this again, because it always warms my heart.
You know what? Before you say that,
Yeah.
something funny actually happened today, because I was in a light farming party. We were doing Titan hard, bright,
Yeah.
and then this guy, he said, "Did you get any light?" Because I didn't, and I was like,
Oh no.
"Oh my god, you too?" So
No.
yeah, he also had forgotten to soul glaze his weapon,
Yeah.
and so he had lost a lot of light. So we
Yeah.
had to start over. So
Because Lonigan did a hell of a lot of it was very light farming, but
I would have been done by now if I've
But
soul
I don't
glaze my weapon in time.
understand.
well, Vero, I will make sure to tell you when that phase
The
comes
thing
up.
is that you do a quest for Jelson, and
Yeah.
if you do like you used to do, and like I did that time, I skipped all the dialogue. I didn't read a thing, and so when I finished that quest, I just figured that I could jump right on the light farming.
Yeah.
But you can't. You have to speak to him once again, and you have to soul glaze your relic before you can start actually getting the light.
And what's even weirder is that you don't get any help. You either you just have to read all of the quest dialogue, and then you have to talk to Jalsan, and it's on a list. You have to select it from a list. And it's not on the top of the list either. It's like down in the middle. Like, it's very weird. So I do understand how that could sort of...
I should have gotten the hint when it said that you're not equipping a soul glaze weapon, but
Yeah, and I didn't click to me either, because for some reason I just did that. I must have, I can't remember, I don't know. It was weird, but it was funny though, for me at least. When we found
seeing
out,
others' grief.
because suddenly, like, something just clicked slowly in my mind. I was like, there might be something in that error text that we're missing, and we did. So that's our exciting. Oh well, I haven't talked yet. Well, I did actually, Lonigan. Yesterday, I beat Ramu.
Oh, you did?
I did, and to top it off, I finished Shiva in the same go.
Nice.
I did. In Duty
You're on a
Finder.
roll. Maybe
I was on a roll.
continue doing coil.
I even got the ninja weapons from Shiva. So I am happy. Although, I do have to be fair, the last part of the fight, I was dead. And the healer didn't want to rest me for some reason. So I was like there, and I kept asking in chat, like, can you rest me? And no answer, just flat. And they cleared it. I was the only one who did it.
You.
So it doesn't count then?
It counts.
Like the first time when I did Titan, and you said it didn't count because I died at the end.
Yeah, but like, yeah, I'm not saying it counts, but I've cleared Shiva and I got the goddamn weapons. Well, I've cleared the quest. You cannot deny that I've cleared the quest. I can go with you on the fact that I haven't done Shiva Extreme yet. I will go with you on that.
Have you done the Ifrit quest?
I've done it. It's all done. All done. Bang. Boom. Ifrit one was just crap. I ran around like a headless chicken. I didn't even bother to watch a guide, and somehow I made it. Some dude just told me, stand there at the side when you get the debuff, and stay there, and then we switch. That's all I did. And we survived. We didn't even get Echo Buff, so that was nice. I didn't even get Echo Buff when we did Titan. Something I just haven't done. I've put it off forever, since I did it like a couple of times with a Duty Finder group, and I realized that this is never gonna work with Duty Finder groups. It did. So I don't know why I've put it off for so long.
Sometimes you get lucky.
Yeah, basically. Okay, let's dive into the interview then. Time Magazine did a massive interview with Naoki Yoshida. Something like this interview is amazing. So if you haven't read it yet, I strongly suggest you do. There's a lot of cool information about how he saved Final Fantasy XIV.
By destroying it?
By destroying it, but also how he built the game while the other game was still running. Like you have to respect the guy, because he did something like a lot of people would have dreaded. He kept the base game going and updating it while he was making the same game all over again in a much better form. Like, that is pretty awesome. And which is probably why Time Magazine decided to do a piece about him. It's a pretty long interview as well, so it's not just a tiny little. And the interviewer has done his homework, so it's a really good interview. I mean, it is Time Magazine, so you do expect those kind of things.
Yeah.
There is a couple of quotes here that I would like to point out, because you've probably noticed in the duty list that I have teased the fact that he might have confirmed Red Mage.
Yeah.
So before we go into that, though, let's take one not as revealing. Well, it is kind of a revealing quote. The interviewer asks, "What's your favorite fantasy story, and why is it your favorite?" So Yoshida then answers, "Considering recent works, I'm into Game of Thrones." That's not subtle at all. But what holds a special place in my heart are The Legend of King Arthur and The Lord of the Rings. So I'm going to spoil the 2.55 main storyline again, because it's all out there now. It's very Game of Thrones-ish to poison the regent. Like, that's... Like, it happened in Game of Thrones. So, I don't know. Kind of funny to sort of get that confirmation that he's into that. Then there's Star Wars. Of course. Dragon Quest 1 through 3. And Final Fantasy 1. which impacted me in terms of storytelling and world creation. As for why, all of these titles have a strong foundation in their setting and a sense of reality in a fictional world. Not only are these very entertaining, but they leave room for the imagination of the people who enjoy these titles to run wild. So, yeah, it's like a lot, like these fantasy stories, as they call them, do fit very well with Final Fantasy XIV, I guess. Game of Thrones is actually quite fitting for Final Fantasy XIV if you look at what it's about. And I mean, dragons. Okay, so let's get to the revealing part. The three new classes introduced in Heavensward, the Dark Knight, Astrologian, and Machinist, maintain the concept of the MMO Holy Trinity of a tank, healer, and DPS. Are there any plans in the future to branch out from this paradigm to include hybrid classes, such as the DPS healer / dancer class from Final Fantasy XI, or other non-traditional roles?
Dancer class? Really?
In Final Fantasy XI, we had dancer, which was
know that.
a pure support role. Basically, you danced and you buffed the team. I mean,
Okay.
11 was a special game, okay? Don't.
I would
Special.
like to have that.
Yeah, really? You wanted to just run around and dance? Well,
I like that.
you should try 11 one day. I'll show you 11, and you will
We
regret.
can give you a
What if you
PlayStation
could
2
kill
and you can
someone
play
with
11.
Vanderwill?
We can give you a PlayStation 2 and a hard drive, so you can
No.
run it.
But wait, I could kill someone with Vanderwill?
Well, that would have been awesome, but that's
Why am I
where
crying?
that's
I'm so emotional.
that's where the suckish part of dancer is. It's like it's a support class. You
Oh.
don't do DPS basically.
Really?
Nope.
You just dance.
It's like being a bard in Final Fantasy XIV and only having the ballads.
Oh,
Yeah. But that's what they're
okay.
that's what he asked, and Yoshida then answers. Pay attention, people. Of course, I won't say that it would never happen in the future, but in party situations, hybrid roles can become either too overpowering or very difficult to use, and it can lead to imbalance. Final Fantasy XIV's core concept is to have the freedom to play each role through the armory system, so we may explore new directions through a skill tree in which the player's job will be determined by what actions have been obtained. Needless to say, these won't be immediate changes, but we will continue to work on creating jobs that are in line with Final Fantasy in a system that is very much like Final Fantasy. And here's the end of the quote. The Red Mage is one of my favorites, after all. I mean, if that's not a confirmation, it's not a straight out confirmation. But it does
But-
mean that
Yeah.
this is probably being discussed by the dev team quite a bit. And I remember, very, like a year back or so, they talked about how hybrid classes, and Red Mage showed up again when they talked about it. Like, Red Mage is probably one of the most popular or well-known classes in Final Fantasy, so it is kind of weird that we don't have it already.
Yeah.
So, like it's mentioned in chat, 4.0 sounds like a reasonable time to introduce Red Mage.
By the way,
Yeah.
I know we haven't talked about this in a while because Machinist is coming and stuff, but whatever happened to the Musketeer Guild?
Wow. The elephant in the room. Yeah, because I played 1.0 a couple of days ago, and I went to Limsa. Don't ask me how I played it, because I've had to answer that question a billion times. The map says Musketeer's Guild in Limsa. So that's, like, in 1.0, that was the Musketeer's Guild. Now it's just the Marauders Guild. What happened to it? Like, everyone was so sure that Musketeer was going to be revealed as one of the new classes, and it turned out to be Musketeer. No, it turned out to be Machinist, sorry.
Yeah.
So what happened to Musketeer?
And now also they've confirmed that the jobs will start at level 30. And so it would have been, before they confirmed this, it would have been reasonable to think that maybe Musketeer will be the base class for the Machinist job.
Yeah.
But apparently not.
Apparently.
That's weird.
So we're gonna either get...
Are we going to get another gun class?
Apparently. Like, I cannot see why they would leave the Musketeer Guild completely. Like, why would they leave that?
By the way, do you think that the I don't really remember how the primary weapon for the machinists look like, but do they have gun blades? No, they don't.
No. No. They're one shotgun.
We gotta have a class that has a gun blade. Seriously.
Well, the Garleans.
That has to come.
The Garleans do have gun blades. If I remember correctly, Gaius has a gun blade. So it's definitely probably a Garlean class. So maybe one day, like 5.0, we get to play as Garlemald, and maybe we'll get some of their classes.
Can get some real PvP.
So maybe we get like one gun class per patch. No, sorry, per expansion. So
You want that?
But Ninja wasn't part of an expansion.
That is true. That is true. So we might actually get a patch class. That's a good point. So yeah, it's not impossible for them to just patch in a new class. But like Red Mage, you would have a completely new system, seeing as Red Mage is a hybrid class. So they would have to change the system completely, or create a new one. As he said, like a skill tree would have been awesome to have in this game.
If there's going to be a skill tree, it's going to be probably similar to World of Warcraft and the talent tree, maybe.
Well, we have a lot of skill tree-esque stuff in Final Fantasy history, like the Zodiac system, or the like. There are a lot of sphere grid.
But that's scare specific.
Yeah. Well, we don't know how they're going to solve this, but it sounds very exciting, and I feel like Yoshi-P sort of gave us a hope that Red Mage is on the drawing board at least. And there
By
are
the way, Vegeta 100 asked Red Mage.
Yeah.
So maybe we should explain what a Red Mage is.
Oh, right. I just naturally...
Everyone knows what
yeah,
that is.
Sorry. Like a Red Mage... That's why I love Red Mage, because Red Mage is basically a mage with a sword.
Maybe you can tell them about the first introduction of Red Mages to the game. To the Final Fantasy series. How they were played.
The first, like in Final Fantasy 1.
They have a long history in the series.
They have been there since the first. So, like a Red Mage is basically like a mage that can both use black and white magic and wield a sword and deal melee damage. Pretty good melee damage too, depending on which game you're playing at least. It is a mage with a sword. It's also been, I think it hasn't been sword only.
It's Gandalf.
It's basically Gandalf. But I feel like Red Mage is very OP, which is the problem, and why it's not been implemented in Final Fantasy XIV yet, because this is basically a paladin with a white mage and black mage combined. And it's like, that's just blows my mind. So,
it's really cool actually, because as we know from the lore in Final Fantasy, black magic comes from within the person, and white magic comes from nature. So
it pulls it from the planet.
Yeah, so basically a Red Mage can do both.
Yeah.
So that's kind of...
How do they put that in the lore? Like, this is gonna be weird, like, yeah.
Gilgamesh? Which class is Gilgamesh?
Oh, please. I have no idea. He's
Joker.
Everything. He's just a joker. He's an idiot.
But isn't there one of the bosses in Circus Tower might be Red Mage?
Yeah, Amon.
Amon,
in Circus Tower, he has a feather in his hat, which is a trademark for a Red Mage. Also, he's attacks Firaga Forte, and everything else Forte is very Red Mage-ish. So I think he is supposed to be a Red Mage, although he doesn't have a sword. So he's a hybrid Red Mage, if that's a thing.
He chose another skill tree.
Yeah.
Another path.
Yeah. He chose another path. He just discarded the weapons completely. So yeah, Red Mage. Would that be a class any of you guys would want to play as?
I would.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It sounds like everyone wants to be Red Mage. That's
Yeah.
also probably why they didn't want to put it in the game yet, because everyone will be a Red Mage.
Everyone wanted to be a ninja as well, and it seems to have been balanced out now. So
Yeah, but where would Red Mage be? Like you have the tank, you have the healer, you have the DPS. Where is Red Mage in all this? So,
maybe there will be 5-man dungeons.
yeah, it probably had to be. Like, yeah, so there had to be. Yeah, so I think he also said that it had to be a hybrid class. So Red Mage would be a hybrid. So maybe like 1 DPS, 1 hybrid, and a tank and a healer. Because I don't see them increasing.
Or maybe 3-man parties.
Didn't
Maybe.
they
But
talk
that would be
about...
stressful.
That would be very stressful, but it
For
would be
the
challenging.
hybrid.
Yeah, Vero.
There was something about clearing a dungeon with only 2 or 3 people.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was about to say that. Good, Vero. In Heavensward, they're gonna make it so that you can enter a dungeon with as many people as you'd like. So you can enter, let's say, Wanderer's Palace with 3 people.
Will you be able to enter with your chocobo though?
Probably not.
No, and
That's
that's like
That would be cool.
Like the Chocobo Companion thing, just to sidetrack for a sec. The Chocobo Companion thing seems to be more difficult than it really is to implement, to fix. Don't you agree? Like, every time they talk about the Chocobo Companion, it sounds like it's the most difficult system to fix in the entire game. It's like, can I please have my Chocobo out while I'm waiting for the duty finder? And they're like, hi. No, it's too difficult, and we're like, what?
That's
I don't see
fucking
why.
annoying.
Instead, they implement a warning system that warns you if you try to put him to call out your chocobo when you're waiting for duty finder. I mean, okay, I know that's weird. I don't know why we ended up on this, but it happened. Want to move on to the next segment, or do you have anything else or do you have anything unsaid in this topic? Everyone's good?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the Heavensward website. It has been updated with lore. Now, I haven't read this lore. I want it to be fresh. So I have the images from the website. If you haven't been to the website, that's too long. Well, the website address is, if you're from the EU, it's eu.finalfantasyxiv.com/Heavensward. If you're from North America, it's na.finalfantasyxiv.com/Heavensward. And let's look at what we have. Let's see if this works now. This has a tendency to not work. So this is the Dark Knight photo. Pretty awesome. I'm going to be a Dark Knight, no doubt. So the lore goes, like the second word there immediately puts me off. The pious or the pious? Let's say pious. It sounds. The pious Ishgardian clergy guide. Okay, let's do that again, Nikhil. The pious Ishgardian clergy guide the flock, and the devout knights protect the weak. That wasn't too hard. Yet even the holiest of men succumb to the darkest of temptations. None dare to administer justice to this sacrosanct elite residing outside the reach of the law. Who then defends and feeble from the transgression of those meant to guide and protect them? A valiant few take up arms to defend the downtrodden, and not even the holy priests and knights can escape their judgment. Pariahs in their own land, they are known by many as dark knights. Don't laugh while I'm reading. These sentinels bear no shields, declaring their allegiance. Instead, their greatsword acts as a beacon to guide them, to guide the meek through darkness. So that's the Dark Knight. Thoughts? Other than having like a really difficult language in this.
That's something that Urion J could read.
Very much so. He's probably the one who wrote this. So yeah, cool. Let's go to the next. The Astrologian. Isn't this the class you're thinking about,
Yeah.
Vero? Yeah. So let's read about the Astrologian. And I noticed that this thing is covering the last part, so I'll remove that at the end. Astrologian. Ever has man coveted knowledge, and none more so than that of his fate. I'm killing this, guys. I'm sorry. Thus did he labor to master the skill of foresight, but initial efforts bore little fruit. That is, until he looked to the stars above, which I put pressure on the wrong place there. I'll do that sentence again. That is, until he looked to the stars above, which foretell the coming seasons, and learned to read the heavens. Though this gift is known today as astrology, the people of Sharlayan saw fit to not only read the stars, but to write their movements as well. By attuning their ethereal energies to that of constellations, they learned to wield magics with heretofore unseen properties. Thus was astromancy born, a new form of magic, which grants its user power over fate, employing a star globe and divining deck in their miraculous deeds. Fortune always smiles upon these masters of arcana. So it's from Sharlayan. That's surprising. I thought it was an Ishgardian thing. So
Louis Wow was probably an astrologian as well. Because he was everything.
He was everything. Like, he killed Bahamut, so... Well, killed and killed. People can discuss that until they die. Okay. Oh, every time I do that... Okay, that's awesome. Machinist. The war...
I will try that as well.
You want to try that as well?
Yeah.
Machinist. The war with Dravania rages on, brutal and unrelenting. With no end in sight, the Holy See grows desperate. As her dragoons lay down their lives in defense of their home, Ishgard turns to technology to protect her sons and daughters. Great cannons and ballistae now line the city walls, plucking dragons from the sky. Following the example of Sid Garland, who has demonstrated the potency of Magitech, the Skysteel manufactory works tirelessly on the development of advanced armaments. As new and devastating weapons are brought to the fray, a new class of champions arise to wield them. The Machinist. So this is the class that Lonigan wanted to try out? Or didn't you talk about this the other day? I thought you said so.
I'm not really sure, but yeah, I talked about Machinist, but maybe I'll
probably
try Dark Knight, maybe.
Everyone wants to do Dark Knight as well, except for
or Astrologian.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to tank.
But I mean, do you want to be an Astrologian, Beryl? Do you want to heal?
I want to try.
Yeah, I concur. Try it, Vero.
I concur.
I suppose if you're a tank and she's a healer, I'll be the Machinist.
The Holy Trinity. Yeah, so it sounds like it sounded to me like every class except for Astrologian is from Ishgard, or Ishgardian based.
Well, Machinist is not really from Ishgard in that sense, but it evolved in Ishgard apparently.
Yeah,
but it was brought to them by Sid, kind of, at least the magic tech stuff. But
yeah, well, it was made for Ishgard, it seems. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Recently.
Yeah. So we have a last picture, and that's about the Aura. So let's just get that over with. Let's see. There we go.
Look through all these first.
Oh yeah. Let's just look through them again if you forgot. Okay, so there are two. We also have the two. What's it called? I always want to say tribes, but it's the Jesus. What's it called? Oh,
Jesus.
Not Jesus. It's not called Jesus. If anyone remembers what this is called, even in chat, it would be nice. Well, I'll start by reading what the aura is. Maybe it says so in the race text. Aura. The curved horns and the beautifully patterned scale. Beautifully patterned? Okay. The curved horns and the beautifully patterned scales that characterize the aura oft give rise to speculation that this here, like, is it higher or here? I've heard both. So let's say higher here, like race native to the far eastern continent of Othard, are in fact the progeny of dragons. Oh, so this is how Lady Iceheart's kids would have looked like. Because she slept with a dragon. This, however, has long been disputed, with scholars citing several distinct differences in the two races as evidence of decidedly dissimilar roots. The first and foremost being the enhanced hearing and spatial recognition granted by an aura's cranial projections, traits not attributed to draconian horns. And the second being the gross disproportion in body mass between Auri males and females. Again, a trait widely unseen in dragons. So yeah, so these are the, what's it called? Jesus Christ. It's called like the Seekers of the Sun and Seekers of the Moon. What? Oh my god. Yeah, whatever. This is one of the things. The clans. The clans. So it's Rain. That's the one that looks most like Hires, I guess. Or Midlanders. Our recreation myth tells of a dawn father and a dusk mother from whom all our Ra are descended. The Rain believe their veins to run thick with the blood of the former. Their brilliant white scales and iron wills serving as proof of this divine lineage. Unlike their sister clan, the Zayla, who bloody the land with their endless tribal conflict, the Rain have embraced a life of tranquility and solitude, long abandoning the nomadic lifestyle of their ancestors to settle the deep valleys of Othard's mountainous eastern reaches. Only a rare occasion will one emerge from the valley mists to seek adventure in realms afar. So that's the one most people are going to choose, I guess. This is the Midlander of the group, or the clans. Then you have the other one. These, how do you pronounce this? Celia or Exalia? One of them.
Celia?
Celia.
Let's call it Celia for now. Our recreation myth tells of a dawn feather and a dusk mother from whom all our are descended. The Celia believe their veins to run thick with the blood of the latter. Their lustrous backscales and fiery will serving as proof of this divine lineage. Unlike their sister clan, the Ran, who lead solitary lives hidden behind the savage peaks of Othard's eastern reaches, the Sayla are free spirits who roam the vast western steppe in close-knit tribes, hunting, gathering, and warring, as their ancestors have for countless generations. So, that is the lore for the new classes and races. Not something that blows my socks away. And about the races, the lore behind the races doesn't really interest me that much. And quite frankly, the aura doesn't really impress me either. So, I've always been a bit, on the fence about the aura. This did not convince me. I'm not going to change to aura when Heavensward launches, to say the least.
If I'm gonna change, I want to change to
I think the lore is
Lalafell or Cat.
a little bit interesting.
What did you find interesting?
I know, not about this lore, but I mean lore in general in terms of races, because it's interesting to know where they come from.
Well, yeah, I like the fact that,
because we only know of the one continent.
Yeah. I like the fact that the Hires aren't originating from Eorzea. They're immigrants, the whole lot. Mm-hmm. So, those tidbits are cool, but there wasn't anything in that lore that we just read that I felt was interesting. Let's go to the DirectX 11 and DirectX 9 comparison, because Square Enix released screenshots from the DirectX 11 client, and also a comparison photo from the DirectX 9 client. Before we discuss this, let's just look at the picture that we're talking about. So this is right here, the one you're watching right now. This is DirectX 9. This is the current client with the current graphics at max. Whew. And now we're gonna switch to the 11. There we go.
Again.
This is the old. This is the new.
You see it on the floor?
Yeah, you can also see that shadows and the extrusion is much better in the DirectX 11 client. So, Final Fantasy XIV looks good, in general. Right now, the game looks very good. But with the new client, things will be shinier. Everything will look better. You can just, there's not much to discuss here, because it's undoubtedly better. It's going to pull a bit more resources, though. So if you have a low-end computer, or maybe even mid-end computer, you might suffer a bit. So you can just always use the DirectX 9 client. So I've been given the impression that you can choose whether you want to use the 11 or 9 client. Lanigan.
Yeah, you could actually see the craftsmanship in the roof there.
You could. Let's look at that
in the
again.
DirectX 11.
Let's look at
You
that
can
again.
barely see it in DirectX 9.
Oh yeah, you can see the details.
Now
in
you can actually see the details in the roof.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you can also see the white stones, kind of the blocks,
Yeah.
you can actually see the separation between them and see that there are blocks.
Yeah. So they're probably using tessellation here of some sort, but I'm really excited for the DirectX 11 client. I think everyone who plays Final Fantasy and has a little bit of extra interest in graphics will be pleased with that update. A lot of people have been waiting for this client for a long time. They've talked about this since the relaunch of A Realm Reborn. Not the relaunch of A Realm Reborn, the relaunch of Final Fantasy XIV. So yeah. Nothing much to discuss there. So we're going to do the last segment, the question segment. We have a question from Reddit. This is not sent to us, but we will answer it here nonetheless. It is sent from Reddit user, oh god, the name!
Dornloy?
Yeah, let's just call him that. So the question goes, just hit Endgame and have been doing the beginning dungeons, farming soldiery and trying to wrap my head around everything to do. I have a few questions. There are three questions and they're pretty long, so hang in there. I'll just read all three of them and then we'll work our way down. 1. With me just beginning Endgame, how do you go about prioritizing your soldiery purchases? Right side or left side first? Forget Relic Reborn and get a soldiery weapon? 2. I got lucky in one of the dungeons and got an eye level 55 weapon for my bard. How important is the Relic Reborn quest? Do I need to do all the steps to unlock the trials for trial roulette? And 2B, I'm at the point where I need the weapon to continue my Relic Reborn. Should I just buy the thing from the market board? I will be super broke after that, but I do not think there is any other way for me to get it. And 3, should I start leveling Disciple of Land or Disciple of Hand to start a revenue stream? Like I said before, if I buy the bow for Relic Reborn off market board, I'll be the most broke I've ever been since the starting 5 levels. LOL. So, a lot to discuss here. The first one, let's do the first question again. With me just beginning Endgame, how do you go about prioritizing your soldiery purchases? Right side or left side first? And forget the Relic Reborn and get a soldiery weapon. So, first things first, the soldiery grind.
Kind of gear?
Yeah, do you start with the left or right side?
I would start with the left.
Personally, I would start with the right side because a lot of the gear that you can get that's better than a soldiery gear comes from many of the raids, and you can't get jewelry from the raids. Talking about Crystal Tower raids.
Yeah.
But you could do coil, I suppose.
But you have to take the question, like, he's just beginning Endgame. I'm thinking he's wearing his job gear at this point.
Yeah, and you cannot really get any good jewelry from that level.
First of all, I would not forget the Relic Reborn, because, and we shouldn't go too much into it, but no, because you won't get a lot of soldiery on the first, in the first dungeons. So you need a lot of soldiery to buy a soldiery weapon. You need 1,300 soldiery, and the first dungeons that you do in level 50 give you like, how much? Like 20? It's nothing.
Yeah, and also, well, you get the bonus when he does it for the first time. But
yeah, you do, but it's like 30 or something.
You get the Atmo weapon pretty quick now.
Yeah.
And also, talking about the fact that you might lose a lot of money from buying the weapon off the market board.
That's the second question.
Yeah, I know, but there are a lot of main story quests that give you some very expensive materials that you can sell for. Well, it depends on servers, I suppose, but you should get at least 500k for many of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, you do get quite a lot. You get two for. Yeah, you get a lot during the main story quest. Yeah, and the labyrinth and circus tower ones give you a lot too. So money shouldn't be a problem actually.
No, I don't think.
Once you start getting the material from the main story and the circus tower quest, the crystal tower quests, you're rich. You'll easily earn over 1 million by doing that.
And also, like you said, if he has the job gear, try to think what kind of jewelry has probably like item level 49 or something.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because getting your relic is really easy, like the base one, the item level 80.
Yeah.
And you'll get some soldiery for doing. You have to do Amdapor Keep and the primals. They give you some stuff for the first time you do it. So yeah, don't forget the Relic Reborn quest. Do it, but you don't have to do it all the way though. That's because we're sort of come to like Heavensward is so close that if you haven't started like on your Atma yet, you should probably just wait till the expansion hits, because they've already sort of confirmed that there will be another Relic quest when
That's
Heavensward
so sad.
launches. Yeah. But I guess we're getting some sort of bonus for having a completed relic. I don't know.
I hope so.
I hope so. I'm still hoping.
The Atmos was so horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope. Yeah. They have also said that the new relic questline is going to be similar to the old. So that's the thing.
Good.
I got lucky in one of the dungeons and got an eye level 55 weapon for my bard. How important is the Relic Reborn quest? He's very concerned about the Relic quest here, I notice. Do I need to do all the steps to unlock all the trials for Trial Roulette? So these are a lot of questions masked as one. Okay, so if you got an eye level 55 weapon, you're still gonna need a better weapon. If that's what this question is trying to ask us. Because... like
At least 100.
I'd say at least get your Zenith weapon, and then because that will bump your item level quite a bit if you have an item level 55 weapon. And do I need to do all the steps to unlock all the trials for Trial Roulette? I would say yes. You want soldiery, and the Trial Roulette throws soldiery at you, and it's very easy because sometimes you get like Garuda, which is on light farm. And it's done in 3 minutes, so it's easy soldiery. So yeah, I would definitely unlock the Trial Roulette. I would unlock you should unlock all the roulettes. I'm at the point where I need the weapon to continue my Relic Reborn. Should I just buy the thing from the market board? I'll be super broke after that, but I do not think there is any other way for me to get it. So we talked about this. So we sort of answered that earlier. Just do your main story, get the materia, sell it on the market board, and hey presto,
and don't skip the cutscenes.
Don't skip cutscenes, guys.
I do.
You do.
We'll go to the 7 hells for that.
You will.
That's okay.
So you will get broke, but it will only be temporary till you do your main story quest and get your materia. Should I start leveling Disciple Land or Disciple Hand to start a revenue stream? Like I said before, if I buy the bow for Relic Reborn of Markbot, I will be the most broke I've been since starting the 5 levels. Well, I think we have quite different views on this, actually. I started with the intent to earn a lot of gil.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to play the game as a disciple of magic or war. Those two doesn't always work. Those two roles doesn't always... Like, if you want to earn, like, a shit ton of gil, you have to do a shit ton of crafting, and you have to do a shit ton of gathering, and you have to have every fudging class to 50 to sort of make real money. Like, I can easily make 1 million gil if I just, through the entire day, do nothing but gathering and crafting.
But you know what?
But that means yeah. Vero.
If you get a retainer,
yeah,
and then you send this retainer out on ventures,
yeah,
and if you're patient, well, make some gil.
You could make some gil there, but that's RNG. Like you're telling him to just get a retainer and wait for money.
No, but then you'll always have some.
If you always have a retainer out, there's always a chance that he will bring you some good stuff.
Yeah,
but most of the time,
that will sell from everything from 1 gil to 100,000 gil.
Most of the time, though, you'll get a fish.
But then you
You get a
always have
stone
income
or a
Yeah.
fish
from
or
somewhere. That's
gold piece or
No,
not
like
even
bronze.
gold piece, bronze piece,
Yeah.
and it's all
I
RNG.
usually get animal skin.
So what do you think, Lonigan?
Okay.
To get
First of all,
enough money.
Disciple of Land, there's not a lot of money to get there. And if you're going to get some money there, we're talking about maybe 30k every 2 hours.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
Yeah.
And I suppose when you're leveling the Disciple of Hand classes, there can actually be a little sum of money to be made there. I think when I leveled my first Disciple of Hand class, I probably earned like 300 or 400k just from crafting low-level stuff and selling them for 15k a piece. Depends on the market at the time, but you can make money from it. Speaking of crafting high-quality stuff, you have to break into the Elite Guard in terms of gear, and that can be quite challenging, at least for Disciple of Land. Now I've finally got my Mammon Sopra and Forger's Hat. It took me quite a while, but even though I have that gear, I'm not really looking to gather anything that's worth a lot of money, and it's all the nodes come in different times, so you have to be patient to earn money that way.
I have a question. I play with one hand because I'm handicapped and play with my left hand only. What's the easiest to hardest job for me to play? You play on PC.
The easiest would be Scholar.
You think?
You think Scholar?
Not Bard?
Well, you have a pet sort of acting as your right hand.
Or Bard, yeah.
That is correct. Wow,
think,
on left hand.
Left hand.
Well, you need kind of a Bard. Something caster, something.
I suppose actually Black Mage can be easy. Because your casting time is pretty long, so you have good time in between casting to, I don't know, direct your hands towards other parts of the keyboard. So
yeah.
But again, if you have to move quickly because of an AoE and interrupt the cast, you have to be on edge, I suppose.
Yeah. But I think most classes are pretty easy to play on one hand. To be fair.
Not Monk.
Yeah,
I tried.
Yeah, and maybe not Monk, but maybe actually Tank could be easy in a way because most of the time you're just standing in one place and you're just using your skills.
Because you can, because I mean you can keybind a lot of stuff, so it doesn't have to be you don't have to use the numbers only. You can use a lot of the keys on the keyboard and remap them to be hotbar specific. But because right hand would only be I only use right hand for camera movement.
Yeah, and also if you get those gamer keyboards that only has a minimum set of keys, that's only meant for gaming.
Yeah,
that can actually be kind of nice as well.
Yeah. But yeah,
because then you have a short distance between all the keys that you're using in a game. So.
Yeah, I just realized that Summoner Scholar would be a bit tricky, seeing as you have the pet hotbar.
Yeah, you have to position your pet and probably use the mouse.
Yeah. Use keyboard only. Yeah, because I think Monk is definitely the hardest to play one-handed.
Yeah, you can't play one-handed.
Oh yeah.
Because you'll have to switch and.
Maybe Lonigan can, but I can't.
What?
Back in the days when you said, I'm always playing with one hand.
That's true though, we play a lot.
That's because I'm a black mage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I said,
can stand
really?
20 yalms away.
Yeah.
Stop using Final Fantasy XIV measurements.
I can stand 20 yalms away and just cast
I don't
fire
know why,
3,
but every time
fire
you...
4.
But I understand now, because now I'm playing one-handed. No problem.
Are you playing right now?
Yeah.
Vero, taking this very seriously. Playing
but
Final Fantasy
talking.
during
I'm just
the stream.
killing.
She's just killing. She's doing her book on stream.
But I'm paying attention, am I?
Yeah. So every class basically, except for Monk. Monk is difficult two-handed basically. It's like
you need two hands.
Yeah, you need two heads.
And two heads.
Yeah. It's probably doable two-handed, but it's definitely not one-handed, but it's definitely probably the hardest. Did we answer the last question? should he start leveling Disciple of Land or Disciple of Hand?
I would
To
Land.
earn money. Like, do you have to do this?
a crafting
Or-
class.
You mean okay? Which crafting class would you suggest starting on?
I would say minor. Easy money.
That's a gathering class, very well.
Oh yeah.
If you want to earn money, then I would say either
Sounded like you were auto-tuned just there, but okay, yeah. Yeah.
either culinarian, goldsmith, or weaver. I mean, the weaver gear. Weavers, they craft a lot of gear,
Yeah.
like chest pieces or leg pieces for both gathering classes, Disciple of Hand classes, and also magic classes.
Yeah.
And that kind of gear, if it's high quality, it actually sells for quite a sum of money. Maybe if you're lucky, you can sell some colettes for 20k or something.
Yeah.
So
Definitely that, because you're by leveling a weaver, you will in the future eliminate the costs of gearing the classes that Lonigan just mentioned. So, yeah, I would urge you to level a Disciple of Land class as well, though. If you're gonna level a crafting class, it's very convenient to have a gatherer to gather your stuff. Lonigan.
if you want to be a goldsmith or a blacksmith or a armor, leveling up mining simultaneously could be beneficial. And also, what's nice about if you start by leveling up your blacksmith first, you can actually craft most of the tools that you need for all other classes. Like, well, not all of them, but a lot of them.
Yeah.
And they even craft their own tools, and that's cool. But yeah.
So if following this recipe, would you level the Disciple of Land or Disciple of Hand class first?
I would do them simultaneously.
Okay.
But if I had to choose, I would have chosen Disciple of Land first, probably, because then you could get all the materials you would need to craft. So when you start crafting, you don't have to buy shit.
Yeah.
True.
Some people told me culinarian crafting can help you get high quality low crafting. I don't know if that's true. I don't think I understand the question. Can help you get high quality. Don't see that. If it's culinarian you're talking about, they can't really craft anything other than consumables.
Maybe he's thinking about the skills that they have that they can be beneficial for other crafting classes when you level them up.
Yeah, because
and
that's
make high quality stuff.
Because that's I was actually going to say this because if you really want to,
the synthesis.
Yeah.
What it is called? Careful, the synthesis? No.
Yeah. The synthesis, just the synthesis.
No, I mean the one that doesn't require CP.
Oh yeah, yeah, because that's a big deal. Because
that can be nice when you're a low level.
Yeah, but there's another thing that he's mentioning here. There are cross-class skills here that are
that's
important.
One of the cross-class skills.
The synthesis.
No, the one that lets you.
Oh, careful
improve,
synthesis.
The one that lets you improve quality.
Yeah, I know
without
which one you're talking about. I
yeah,
know.
you can cross-class that one.
What's it called? It's called
Flawless synthesis.
No, that's the other one. That's the Careful Synthesis 2 is what I think it's called. Or 1, both of them. But the thing I was going to say is the one that gives you the most dough is...
Hasty Touch, that's what it's called.
No, that's the one with the hand that you have a certain... That's the one that you have a highest likelihood of failing by using.
Yeah, but that's the one that uses no CP and can increase quality.
Oh, right. That's okay. Yeah, we were talking about two different things. But the one I wanted to talk about, if you want to earn some real gil, is Culinarian. Because Culinarian crafts consumables. And consumables are always in demand because they are consumables. Like, that's where I earn most of my gil, is by making, like, finger sandwiches, pineapple bombs, cakes, I can't remember everything else that I make. Spinach quiche, all of that. You can earn a shit ton of gil. Lonigan?
Yeah, and one thing that you can actually start crafting from a pretty low culinarian level is walnut bread.
Yeah.
because
I earned a lot on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can earn a lot on that if you make them high quality.
Yeah.
Apart from being a consumable that the Disciples of War, I don't remember if it's Disciple of War Magic it's beneficial for, but they buy it also. But also the ones that makes finger sandwiches, if they're lazy, would just buy a lot of high quality walnut breads so that they can make their finger sandwiches, because that's a part of that recipe. So
Yeah, but like I just zoned out for a sec because I was looking at something else. But did you say that walnut bread is also a consumable?
no, I said
Because
that.
I think it is.
I don't. Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
But I don't remember whether it is beneficial for Disciple of Magic or Disciple of War. I don't remember
Oh yeah, no, me neither.
which attributes it gives
No,
you.
I don't
I
think-
think it's actually
Accuracy.
War. I think
I think it's like universal. I think it's like accuracy and determination.
I have to check this now.
Shit like that. But yeah, it's because of that, because there's demand from two fronts, you can earn a lot of gil on
Actually-
just walnut bread.
Yeah, it is for tank. It's para vitality accuracy.
Oh,
But now that you think about walnut bread, walnut is not a really weird thing to have in your bread.
No, that's the thing, I
I
think.
think it's a thing. Yeah, but it
Walnuts?
sounds really weird.
Yeah, nut bread is,
Ugh.
No thanks.
but
I will pass.
it's it's a lot more healthier
It's healthy.
than.
Oh, it's so healthy.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
walnut
I've seen
bread.
it on the
internet.
internet.
I knew it.
Yeah,
I saw it on the internet.
interwebs.
Yeah.
Interconnected webs.
Interconnected webs. Is there anything else then before we wrap this
Yeah, how
mother
much
up?
is it now? Walnut bread.
Vero, that's a highly
What did we
weird
sell it
question.
for? 11K for one?
For one.
11K for one.
I don't remember.
I haven't sold walnut
Are you
bread
selling
for
super high
forever.
quality or something? I mean, high quality would probably go for a 1500.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's more what
Gil.
I sold it for.
Something was sold for 11K. I don't
if you're
remember.
lucky-
Maybe it was 11K in total then.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe sold
Yeah.
10. The day that you get 11K for walnut
For
bread,
one walnut bread.
I'll give you a Coke.
That's gold.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's-
I'll stop drinking Coke.
Yeah, that too.
No,
Congrats.
not that kind of Coke. The Coke inside the game.
Oh, that coke. Ah,
The
right.
ones that you always need on. Vero.
Vero needs on everything.
Everything. Like
There's
I do. I always do.
Tony, what's it called?
Tony
again?
Latex.
Tony Latex. I saw that earlier today when we were doing an expert.
Yeah.
Oh, I want that Tony Latex. Oh,
If
I'm
there's
selling it. God damn.
selling it for 100 gil.
if there's a need
600.
button,
100.
if there is a need button available, she will press it. So
Yeah.
she will also leave the area before the roll is complete, so she doesn't
Yeah, I
always
did that
get it.
once
Quote.
with a bow
Quote.
in coil.
Can I need on the egg?
Can I need on the egg?
Oh, can I need on the egg? We completed turn 5. Vero just looking through the loot, immediately noticing a round brown thing. She doesn't even bother looking at the text. She's like, "Can I need on the egg?"
And we all were just so happy for actually clearing
Yeah.
turn 5. And we're like on some kind of rush
I'm
because
not
of
like
that.
everyone else.
And then
Vero
she
is
goes like,
straight to the
Can I
point.
need on the
Egg. Oh wow! You
Yes.
should
Enough.
bring this up one last time. The one you've Lanigan, you weren't there, but the one time we did turn 5 for me the 4th time, I don't know, for a free company member, the Allegan composite bow drops, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, that bow is so cool!" And Vera's like, "I want it." And
course.
she rolls need on it, so everyone else passes on the loot because there's no need to greed. She leaves the instance before the roll has completed, and the bow disintegrates.
I fucking hate my life.
That's when the entire free company just hated you intently for 10 minutes.
You think I don't hate myself
grin.
as much? Yeah,
that
I
was
do.
so mindlessly done that it's just, to this day, before I go to bed, it flashes before my
Yeah.
eyes. I was
Mine
like,
as well.
what if we were in like Final Coil and this happened with a loot lockout, and you leave before the role is completed? Oh my god, the rage would have been so... would have been discharged from the free company, Vero. You... People would have... yeah, that... oof, god.
No.
So you've learned. I hope.
Question. What
Okay.
server you guys play?
I forgot to close my Facebook, and I guess that's Lonigan typing in my Facebook chat.
No, yeah.
Hour.
It is.
But what server you guys play on?
God, can
Did
you
you answer
talk
that?
louder? The same as you, Vero. No, joking. We play on the Ragnarok server.
Ragnarok.
Also known as...
Legacy.
Yeah. Also known as the most
Best
difficult
server.
server. Most difficult server to get on ever, because it's always locked for character creation.
Apart from like 2 or 3 hours in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Like from
3 to 6.
1 a.m. Oh, it's 3 now.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah, it is.
during the weekends at least. That's
Yeah.
when it's the worst. So, yeah, if you're not already on Ragnarok, you don't even have to bother getting on here, because it's not gonna work. You're not gonna get on. Which is a good thing, I guess. It's a good sign, because it means there's a lot of people on our server. I have heard about it. I have a lot of friends on other servers that have reported that there is... Well, I don't have a lot of friends, but I have friends in other servers where there are stretches of the day where there are literally no one online. So I'm very glad that we have this server that's always populated. So, okay, I think that wraps everything up for today. I want to thank everyone for watching. You can watch us next week. I'm not gonna be completely sure if this is the correct date, but April the 25th at 7 p.m. is the current target date. You can follow us on Twitter at SpeakersXIV, and on Facebook, facebook.com/SpeakersXIV, and also throw us a follow on Twitch. You're watching it right now on Twitch. If you haven't followed already, please do so now. Also, YouTube, links are down below me. Also, iTunes, that's also below me. Baloney. I've been joined by Lonigan Theifer and Vero Sombrero. Vero Sombrero is not in her shot as usual, but we will see you then on the 25th, hopefully.
Yeah.
So, bye.
When you walk into the gates towards Ishgard, you walk over the battlefield. That's the aftermath of probably the surprise attack, and also the Steps of Faith trial. And then you're kind of introduced by what's to come from Dravania, with the dragon just blasting you with flames.
Yeah. That, like, yeah. Do you continue if you have
No.
Okay, yeah. Because there was, like, there's so much goodies in this. Like, the details of everything in this.
Just